Hello, everybody. Super good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? Kevin Chan here, reappearing again, after 2 days of disappearance. Hopefully, you guys don't miss me too much, right? So again, so we're gonna come back and take a look at the storytelling time, right? So it's one of those session, whereby we just chit chat a little bit about. Right now, we are talking about Journey to the West, right? So Journey to the West story, right? So we're gonna talk about the employer and versus employee mindset, right? So this is a very common corporate topic, a very common corporate topic, right? So you will see that the corporate figure will start to say, oh, you need to have employer mindset. But what exactly is employer mindset, my friend, right? So today we're going to discuss a bit using the Journey to the West as the backdrop, right? So just borrow a bit of their story so that you guys start to understand the storyline a little bit. These are areas whereby a lot of people probably they have never thought about it, right? So you have read the Journey to the West, it's just part of the story, it's fun, right? So all those kind of things, right? So we go a little bit deeper, right? So to take a look at the circumstance that presented itself, right? So again, don't get too tied up with the storyline, thing like that. It's a story, right? So it's a story, right? So it's based on one fella's adventure from the Tang dynasties to the India's one of the temple to get some scripture, go back for translation, right? So that's about it. That's about the the core story. Then somebody pick up the particular story and added a lot of salt and pepper inside. Right, so it's that. Right, so come, let's good morning first. Alright, so I got Pepper around, I can see Manuel around, Eclipse around, PJ Cole around, Brian Tong is around. How are you doing, my Brian? Right, so hey, brother Brian, I think I got some tickets for you, right? So chill, chill. I'll get you some tickets. Okay, right, so let me just shrink down to the smaller version, right? So smaller version, right? So let's go in, right? So now. One of the highlight in the Journey to the West, if you've seen that, is basically where Sun Wukong, right? So Sun Wukong, so again, how Journey to the West always is Sun Wukong. Yes, actually, if you take a read of the entire Journey to the West, it is very high percentage of it is actually talking about Sun Wukong. Right, so it's about the Sun Wukong Da Nao Tian Gong. So which means that the Sun Wukong went up to the heaven court and then causes a lot of trouble. Right, so the other day, I already told you guys, right, one of the function of Sun Wukong is actually to balance power. He don't know lah. Alright, he himself actually doesn't know that he was somebody who was picked by the power on top, to do the balance of power, right? So same thing also, right? So the people up on the heaven court also are not stupid people. Right, so everybody there also know what is their role, right? So and the main highlight that I want to tell you is that why when you read the Journey to the West, right? So when Sun Wukong went up to the heaven courts and caused trouble, right? He was such a fighter, right? He basically leveled the entire army of the heaven's court. Right, the entire Heaven's Court army, right? So basically got leveled by him. None of the army people was able to fight Sun Wukong. He was that powerful, right? So but when he's inside the Journey to the West that time, right? Fighting those small monsters, those are small monsters, those are small demons, right? Compared to the Heaven's Court army, whatever that in the 14-year adventure that he have, the 81 challenge that he have, all those were small army. But how come when he fight the small little demon that time, right? He was so difficult. It was so difficult to fight all those small little demons, and up until the stage that he have to always go and ask for help. Last time when he's fighting the entire army, he never asked for help. It's like just smack the hell out of them, right? So that he's a powerful fella, he can fight, right? So that he can fight. So he's somebody who can fight. But how come when they fight the what we call the small little tiny little demon, down on planet Earth, together with Tan Sang Zhang that time, right? It is so damn difficult, right? So the one of the main thing is that the role is different. Right, so you don't know the role between the people on the heaven's court versus the role of the people on the earth, the small little monster, is very different, right? So what is the main difference? The heaven's courts are all employees. Yes, now in the olden day, right? So in the olden day, right? So now in the olden day, there is no such thing as job employment. There's no such thing. Everybody work on their family farm last time. you got fishing boat, you work on your family fishing boat lah. If let's say that your family is carpenter, then you go chop wood and do carpentry lah. That is the life of the people in the olden day, right? So which means everybody is basically an entrepreneur, right? So everybody is an entrepreneur. So the only way for you to get a salary, right? So to get a salary, by the way, in China, salary is look as long. So if you guys study 八字, you will see the word 禄. Right? So sometimes got 禄权, right? So sometimes got 禄神, right? So that word 禄.禄means salary. sống禄. Right, so Cantonese called song lok. Song lok means that you get paid a salary. So it is a very high class thing to work for the government last time. Only people who work for the government, which is the emperor at that point in time, is given a salary. Right, so it's a big thing, right? So when you're given a salary, mean that you do not have to do all this hard labor work anymore, right? So and then you are always given the salary. So it's a big thing. So now, right now, we got just now I told you already, almost 60 or 70% of the people in today's are salary worker. Right, so salary is nothing more new, right? So the people who are basically in the heaven court basically is under a employment salary system. So of course the demon that is in the planet Earth, right? So the small little demon, they are on their own, you see. You start to understand they are on their own. So there is a very big difference here, right? So which means that if the demon in the heaven and the human world, if they do not do their best, they perish, right? Whereas those people in the heaven court just need to do enough and they will survive. So which means that employee actually does not have the reason to sacrifice their life, no matter who basically come and attack. So that's why if you take a look at it, when Sun Wukong come and fight with the heaven court, everybody knows, So it's also one important thing, right? So Sun Wukong is not the only fella who have revolved all this kind of. They have seen this before, right? So they've seen it before. So not just give you an example. If you are somebody who has been working in a corporate company, right, for let's say 30-40 years, it's a long time worker inside, right? So now and suddenly there is a new CEO coming. You have seen new CEO coming in many rounds, right? So compare you with a junior. Right, compare you with a junior, right? So who just come in to work like 2 years, right? A new CEO coming to be, new CEO, it's very scary, right? So these 30-40 years people, how they look at new CEO, again, new CEO coming in. They already can expect, so when new CEO coming in, they will do this, then they will do that, they will do this, then they will do that. So you already know what is happening. So same thing, those people in heaven court. So again, you guys know that they are immortal, right? A lot of them have a lot of experience already. It's not the first time that they see this thing. When they see this thing, they know, okay, right. So right now, this fella coming in, Sun Wukong coming, fight, we are supposed to fight this guy already. Okay, cool, right? So everybody come and do their part, right? So, they come and, try to fight with Sun Wukong. So when Sun Wukong swing the thing, right, they will purposely block it, purposely block it, and then, hurt, cannot fight already. Oh, my, I know. They'll do all that, right? So they'll do what is called is enough just to entertain everybody in the heaven court. Right? Just to siam, what I call just to siam, right? So do enough, right? So now you can see, if you go back to the workplace, right, there is a lot of these people. When we say that, the fellow has the employee mindset, exactly that's what they are doing. They don't take up responsibility. But when you go down to the earth realm, when you fight with the small little what we call demon, right? So that's their life. I tell you, if they don't fight Sun Wukong with all his might, that's it, gone, right? No salary coming, right? So which means that if the fella doesn't protect his own turf, it's gonna be gone, right? So can you see that if you're an employer, that would be the case for most employer, right? So we replace the word employer with entrepreneur, right? So now sometimes you see a lot of people, a lot of excuses one. Right, so now usually those people who has a lot of excuses are the people who don't understand the entire landscape of what we call entrepreneurship, or you want to say that corporate employment, they don't really understand the landscape. So let me just describe now whatever excuse that you have. No, I cannot do this because of that. I cannot do this because of that. Those are all employee can tell one. Because why? You can put all your excuses at the end of the month, you still get your salary, Correct or not? Right. So that's the premise, right? So no, if let's say that you're an employer, right? So just take a look at your business. Let's say that your business is not very big. You employ 5 people. Each of this person you pay 3,000, which is very normal. Right, so 3,000 salary is actually very normal. Right, so very normal for whatever business is in. Right, so 5 people 3,000 mean this is 15,000. Right, so every month you pay 15,000 salary, and then let's say that the rental of the office, whatever your setup is 5,000. Just make it 20k. Right, so which means that every month, like it or don't like, you have an expenses of 20k that you have to pay. No, so tell me right now, if you take any of your excuses that you have, right, can you go and tell this 5 fella and also the landlord that you have the office that oh, it's because of this I can't pay your salary this month. You all should forgive me for not being able to pay your salary this month because this can or not? You try and see whatever excuses that you have been given to your office. The other day, I just you guys know that sometimes I help out with this government e-invoice implementation thing, right? So got people on the internet and social media say that, oh, you know what? I just the other past few months I was on my maternity leave. That's all because I'm on maternity leave. So I cannot do the e-invoice thingy. So right now I'm back for maternity leave already. Can I right now backdate everything? Who cares about your maternity leave? Right, so you see, only employee will do this sort of stuff. Right? So can you go back and tell your salary, tell your worker that oh no, because I'm on maternity, I'm not gonna pay you the salary for the past few months. Yeah, I'm very sorry lah. You guys are not gonna get salary because I'm on maternity. Does it work? Does this sort of excuse work or not? Right, got salespeople now say that, oh no, I'm not closing enough sales because I don't have enough leads. Company is not giving me leads. A lot of people is like that one, when they're working. Oh, somebody need to give me the leads. They don't know how to generate leads on their own. Right, so now you see, the company salespeople always say that the company need to give them the leads. But when you talk about the the insurance agent, MLM agent, they never say that oh okay, Amway need to give me the leads. Prudential need to give me the leads. AIA need to give me. They never say this sort of stuff. They will go and find leads on their own because why? They know that if they don't go and find a lead, they will die. Right? Can see the difference. Right, that is actually the main difference is your ability to take responsibility of your organization. Right, so an entrepreneur actually don't have much choice. Do and die, must go and get whatever problem that happen in the entrepreneur space, the owner take full responsibility. Because if you don't take full responsibility, you blame anyone also. Whatever you want to blame, whatever circumstances, whatever excuses that you come up with. You will end up in the same place whereby the 15,000 and the 5,000 rental and the 15,000 salary have to be paid. Right, you can see so for an employee they don't have this particular issue. Right, so now can you start to see that so now let's take a look at who is basically in heaven. Right, so so this is go and fight. Right, so the fellow can fight the entire heaven army. Right, so according to the story he can one swipe the entire heaven army. Right, so all pretty good actor. Right, everybody in the heaven armies are basically employee of the heavens court. Right, so they all know already. Right, so it's like oh no. So a lot of time also when you see this, right, probably you have seen too many war movie. Right, you've seen too many war movie, whereby you see that oh no, the army work together, oh no, they wanna. Now a lot of the army basically work under duress. Under duress means that it's forced to work. Right, now one of the tactic that the empire always do in forcing the army to be very loyal is that they will hold their family hostage. Especially when you're a big general. So a big general, if I send you out to fight, and I will tell you that oh no worry, I will take your family into the palace and take care of them. Right, they'll tell them so in a way they think that oh the emperor is very good, take care of the family. No, it's basically telling you that if you do anything out there, right, so first thing is your family is gonna die first. I have your family hostage. I'll treat your family well as long as you're loyal. Right, you can see so it's basically called working under duress. Right, so same thing right, so for them, right, so you see all these what you call army, right, so you've seen right, so they probably want the magical pill, you know, from Tai San Lao Jun. You know, they want the peach, you know, from the Huang Mu Niang Niang, right? So they also want the, you know, life extension fruits, right? So, you know, see all of them, you know, want this sort of stuff, right? So, you know, and they are nice lah, right? So all nice, that's all play nice, right? So, and then they basically immortal, they don't die, right? So they've seen all of this before, you know. Okay, so right now, you know, we got this monkey guy, you know, he's probably, you know, another one of the pawn that the Heaven Court has already positioned. They already know. All right lah, so come lah, let's us all, you know, go there, you know, have a fight with this particular guy. You know, we just do a great show about it, right? So then everybody come, you know, get swing already, you know, then you know, pretend to die. Right, fallen down, pretend to die, you know. So once you get hit, you know, you just need to remember not to stand up again. Sometime, right? So sometime in office, right? So you need to learn that, right? So it was a big fight, right? So all of this is basically really good actor because they got a lot of experience and got some main actor, right? So main actor, right? So you guys know, Naza actually has a fight with this fella, right? So he was, you know, sent to fight this particular. So Naza is very experienced actor, right? So Naza's story was actually about, you know, again 1100 BC. Sun Wukong started at about 500 BC. So which means that Naza actually have 500 years of senior experience in this entire, you know, Heaven Court thingy, Heaven Court Earth thingy, right? So the fella has many experience, and Lata is actually a very good fighter. He got a lot of, you know, what we call stuff, you know. He got his spear, you know, so especially he got his the thing that he stepped on, you know, the whatever a firing thing, right? So he's a very established fighter. But how come Naza also lose to Sun Wukong? Because Naza know his role, right? But day one of heaven is 100 days, so only 5 days on today. Right. Right. So the entire, you know, idea when you're fighting is how come some such an established fighter, right, would have lost to Sun Wukong? Because he know his role. Right, he know what is his acting. So when he was asked to go and fight Sun Wukong that time, right? So undercurrent, you know, do a good fight, you know, do a good fight, but lose, right? We want to make Sun Wukong, you know, right? So things like that, like wayang only lah, right? So it's like that, like wayang only lah, right? So you know, so yeah, Naza smart, right? So now what's the point of fighting to the death with Sun Wukong? Because today you fight to the death with Sun Wukong, tomorrow there's going to be something else, right? Understand or not? Right? So that's basically employee, right? So now employee is what? Right? So you know, if you don't want to employ here, right, you can always employ that. Yes, that is correct for employee, but employer don't have this sort of stuff. Employer don't have room to play around with this sort of I don't do business here, I do business there. Employer don't have. Because what happens is that, you know, when you go into entrepreneurship, there's a lot of sunk costs. Again, this sort of stuff also, you know, never thought about this. And a lot of people, go, you know, I want to do this sort of business, you know. They have never calculated their sunk cost, never calculated their run rate, you know, so all don't have inside their mindset. So the way that they think is very different. You know, they always think that, you know, other people is responsible. Typical working class, typical working class is always other people responsible, right? So other people responsible, you know, they don't think that their salary come from where. Right, so you know, they think that their salary magically appeared, right? So somebody need to pay their salary, you know. They never thought of that, you know. They think that, you know, I come to work, I do my work, then you should pay me the salary. The salary come from where? Never thought of that, right? So like this one, you know, they know. So and then another one more, which is, you know, very high profile one, is basically our Erlangsen Yongjin, right? Erlangsen again is another one of these big powerful general, you know. He's from the his entire life is from the what we call the fighting lineage, right? So it's very, you know, powerful fighting, you know, and got Ultraman laser, someone that, you know, that right? So very powerful. Also lost. So why lose? Right? So these are two, you know, very senior, powerful fighting fella, you know. Why does it lose to a monkey? Do you think really is the monkey very powerful in fighting? Right, so no, and then only when the monkey go down to planet Earth and fight with all the small demons, only the monkey start to realize that actually I myself know not really a very good fighter, because when you start to fight with the demon, and the demon is what we call serious. So again, very different the demon with them. They are basically people who has position in the heaven army, right? So it's settled, right? Settled, right? So it's protected by the heaven army. You just have to go and do their role, right? So no problem, right? So no problem. Whereas the demon down on planet Earth is very different. Right, they so just tell you guys the story. What's the difference between a rabbit and a fox? Right, the fox early in the morning wake up, have to go and catch rabbit, chase after rabbit to find food. So the rabbit early in the morning have to run away from the fox, right? So to survive, right? So the main difference is, if the rabbit fail, rabbit die. Whereas if the fox fail, fox could just go hungry. Right, so you can see rabbit don't have a choice. So rabbit will do whatever that's necessary to survive. Whereas fox will only do enough to chase after the rabbit. So you chase after the rabbit, this particular rabbit is too difficult to chase. Never mind, let the rabbit go. Now chase after another rabbit. Now employee mindset is like that, right? So if you ever try to do entrepreneurship and your mindset is always it's like, oh no, I've done all I can already, oh no, the rest of it is basically up until God, whatever it is, right? So if you got this sort of mindset, right, please go back to employment is where you should survive. Because if you have entrepreneur, you try to start entrepreneur and you do not know how to take full responsibility, when that full responsibility means really full, anything inside your entire organization which is not running, right? So you are the one who's gonna collapse. There's no other thing, right? There's no compassion in entrepreneurship, right? So a lot of people think, oh no, I have failed in my entrepreneurship is because of this, because of that, right? So there's no compassion. Fail mean fail, end mean end, finish mean finish. Right, so whereas in the employee world, there is always continuation. So if you don't work in this particular organization, you can always seek a job in another organization, whereby you're technically starting from fresh. So again, another organization do not have whatever track record you have in the other organization. Right, so you always start out fresh in a new organization. It's able to. But when you're entrepreneurship business, it's almost impossible to start out fresh. Yep, if you borrow loan, $500,000, 1 million, just to start up, everything, and this one go bust, you not able to pay up the loan, right? So this particular, you did not pay up the loan thing, you will carry on for the rest of your life, or the bank will know that you didn't pay back the loan. Every single bank will know. Every single bank, every single organization, and it is so unforgiving that if let's say that you did not well in this particular industry, the industry is not very big on it. Any industry that you go into is not very big on it, right? So and they know that your creditability is at stake, right? So yeah, right. So it's like that, right? So we got our famous two fellow. If you ever wonder why Sun Wukong can win over these two particular fellow, because they are employee and they know the Empire Palace game. They know that their role is to give a good fight and then lose. So they are the people who prop up the real what we call the real actor, right? So these are if you play game, a fighting game, right, you got boss fight, right? So why not fighting game straight away go for boss fight, right? Must fight the small little stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Now these are stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, small little fella. Right? So they know that their role, is to lose, so that they can prop up the fella who's supposed to win. Now, so you see, the释迦牟尼, come down only, 5-finger mountain, the monkey straight away. Why not straight away ask the fella to come? If the fella straight away to come and then smack the hell out of it, right, it will be anticlimax for one thing, and then no one will appreciate his contribution. But right now, when you have a path of difficulty, oh no, I've sent the entire army to fight this fella, I lost it, right? So I also sent my best fighter over, everybody, is in cohort, where we go. Right? So no, I don't know whether they have a briefing meeting before this, strategic briefing meeting. Sit down, hey guys, we are gonna go and fight this monkey right now. The boss said that they want the show to be like this. They got script, whatever it is, right? Yeah, right. So going now. So now, whoever's stupid enough to really seriously go and fight the monkey and get themselves killed is their problem, right? So it's their basically problem, right? So is this basically thing that you need to take a look at, right? So yeah, so fight with this Naza, right? So big fighter, fight with Naza, and of course, you have to show that you have done all you can, right? So, and this one is also a very very difficult task sometimes as an employee, right? So your wayang is actually your biggest role, right? So now a lot of employee think that oh, as long as my skill set is good, people will appreciate me. Wrong. Your skill set is basically just front door entry level ticket. When you go higher, it's not your skill set already. Any higher you want to go is how well you use other people. It's never how well your skill set is, because every single corporate ladder know that one person can only do so much, right? So it is your ability to command other people to work that is very valuable. So that's why you can see that why manager doesn't know how to do much thing. You always go on, my boss doesn't know how to do anything, but your boss know how to do one thing, which is to get you to work, right? That's what upper manager is for, right? So upper manager, so it's all the ability to wayang, right? The ability to wayang, the ability to do, right? So it's a very delicate game if you take a look at it, right? So just like inside your employment, right? It's a very delicate game, right? So a lot of time also, why is it that delicate game? Because if you play it wrong, right? So if you play it wrong here, so if then again, to be able to fight and not get yourself hurt, so you need to fight, but in a way that you don't get yourself hurt. Because if you are not very good at this part of fighting, very easy to get yourself hurt. So you don't want to get yourself hurt, but you also need to put up a show that you are very hardworking, right? So in office also is the same. You need to be able to show people that is hardworking, right? At the same time, not to get yourself hurt is that not to go and take up too many tasks. Now, too many people in employment is like that, saying, oh, I need to improve my skill set. The more you improve your skill set, the better that you are, the more job come to you. Do you think it's a good deal? Think about it, right? So think about it, right? So the Naza very experienced, he knows about this stuff, because why the Naza also, if you take a look at Naza's story, he was also once a victim of the entire same system, right? So same thing, he was also being used for this and that, right? So then after he is being used for some time already, then the heavens court know that this fellow is reliable. Same thing with Sun Wukong, right? So after being used for this and that already, now that they find that Sun Wukong is reliable, so he has established enough relationship with the people in the heavens court. Now everybody is professional actor. So that's why Sun Wukong very easily can go back and ask for help from all of them, right? So because when they were engaging that time, he start to understand already. Oh, okay, you guys also is like that. Then you know how to play the game, right? So this is where some people know how to play the corporate game. To play corporate game, everything is basically easier, right? So not too difficult, right? So same thing, just do a bit of advertising, right? So still a lot of people try to get in touch with me, right? So again, just Telegram me, fast, easy, right? So go and join my Telegram channel and just click on my photo and just give me a Telegram, right? So or the Substack also can, right? So yes, I think today there will be a publication on the 2026 Sunshine Animal Sign. I don't know what time. Right, so if you're not signed up yet, you better sign up. The email will straight away be shoot out. I think the first one is the horse, since next year is the horse year. So sign up the horse one. Right, so or you can join our Facebook community. Right, so anywhere, whichever channel you want to get in touch with me, join the community. Up to you. Take care of yourself. Right, so now one of the fella who Sun Wukong fight, one of the what we'll call hardest fight that Sun Wukong had with this particular called Golden Wing Great Pang, right? So Da Peng, right? So Da Peng, right? So it's one of the biggest fight ever, right? So now this particular fella is in heaven, is in the earth realm, right? Is in the earth realm, right? So it's basically fighting, right? So now for to tell you the Heaven's Peng original is one of the Buddha's ride, right? So ride. 坐骑 mean that is the vehicle, the ride, the pet. It's actually not a pet, so it's the transport mode of transport for one of the Buddha. Right? So now just think about it. If you have a car, right, and your car is missing, can you not know? Right? Sometimes you think about it, right? So he is the ride of Buddha, right? So one of the Buddha's ride, right? So now tell me now this is somebody who's on employment, right? On employment, right? He's on employment, and then he want to become an entrepreneur, right? So he's called moonlighting. Came down to planet Earth, started his own business on planet Earth, right? So started own business, together with the I think it's a crimson tiger, and also I know got partnership, right? And also an elephant, right? So three of them, three brothers, right? So started three of them also is the three main Buddhas ride, right? So later we will cover the story, but so can see, right? So now you see his stake is very high, because why? He don't like on top there, always being repressed by the Buddha, right? So he want to become entrepreneur. Came down, right? So now you have a Sun Wukong right now, which is threatening his business. So now tell me, do you think that he will fight like how he is fighting like when he was an employee, right? So never mind, lose is okay, right? So lose mean what? Right? So lose mean what? Lose either is die or have to go back and face Buddha. Right? So you think escaping, from heaven's realm is a, small sentence, right? Not a small sentence, right? So you guys start to understand that. So it's all about survival. So that's why when Sun Wukong is fighting whatever that's on heaven realm, even small little demon, he seems to find that the fighting is a bit dragged out, very difficult. Because why? Every single small demon down there is an entrepreneur for their own turf. They are fighting for their survival. They are all rabbit that's trying to run away from the fox, because they know that if they fail to run away from the fox, that will be the last day that they'll ever have time on the planet. Unlike, when they are in heaven's court that time, as an employee, right? So they can linger around forever, right? So the fox can linger around forever, don't eat this, even today don't eat, the fox won't die straight away, right? You don't see the fox, today hunger, tomorrow die. Right, so the fox just need to do their best in chasing after the rabbit. They just need to find a rabbit that's weak enough. Then, they will be able to have food. But the rabbit is different. Right, so the rabbit does not have room to play around with. Right, so they need to survive. So when you're in an entrepreneur, right, you're basically in a stage whereby you don't have any room to play around with. Right, so now I've given you the acid test for an entrepreneur. Really, if you have 5 worker there, everyone you pay 3,000, 15,000 plus your office 5,000, 20,000. You try what excuse that you can throw and tell this group of employee of yours that this month I cannot pay you your salary because of, you try and see. You see there's any because of here that work with the employee, and the employee will say that, oh yeah, boss, lor, I understand your predicament, I understand your difficulty, it's okay lah, last month salary cannot pay, it's never mind. You try and see, right? You try and see any excuses that work, please PM me, okay? Please PM me, right? So also that I can also talk to the people in my organization, telling them that, you guys are not eating rice, your family is not having any food this particular month, is because of this, and you all should just forgive me lah. Right? It's not my fault, it's somebody else's fault. You try and see. Right? So employee always can employee always can say what but when you're the boss, there's no way for you to basically do that. So can you see how, if you have an employer mindset in the corporate world, is that anything happen, you take up responsibility. Right? It's not for you to blame here, blame there, right? So there's still a lot of people in entrepreneurship that just resort on blaming people for things that's happened. Blame government, blame market, blame other people, blame. So after finish blaming, does the problem disappear? Ask yourself, after finish blaming already, right? Okay, let you blame. Does the problem disappear? If the problem doesn't disappear, means that somebody need to go fix it. Who do you think need to go fix it? end up it's you, right? The 15,000 salary, who need to go and pay it? It's still you, right? So why you need to, have so many what we call things, right? So now in the end, right? So it's basically when you are working together with people, these are those people who want to go into entrepreneurship. Do you think you need to work with people who has entrepreneurship mindset, who take full responsibility for their portion of it, especially when money is involved in? So that's why a lot of partnership break, right? So because a lot of people go into partnership, why is the reason that they go into partnership is because they have a certain doubt on things that they are doing. They want other people to support them. That's why you go into partnership. It's called pooling resources. But when you pool resource that time, right, the balance of the resource pooling usually is not there. Right? You're gonna have people who doesn't do their part, but they want the split on the profit. When there is profit, they want the profit, right? So a lot of partnership, when there's no profit, that time actually the partnership is fine, no problem. Everybody hugging together, we'll go through this difficult portion when there's no money to split. Okay, right? So, but when the business start to make money, this is where you see all the stupid creature coming. Right? So this is where you see the whether they have entrepreneurship spirit or not. Right? So are you taking responsibility for the entire holistic part of what you need to take responsible of? Right, so that's why I know a lot of time also, when people start the entrepreneurship journey, if I ask them now, which portion of the business are you going to take responsibility of, they cannot tell me one, because they don't even know their business got how many portions. Right? Yeah, they don't know, right? So if like I tell you, start a cafe got how many portions? They don't know one, right? They don't even know how to calculate sunk cost. And I want to start a cafe. They think that I start a cafe, then it's like I do nice picture, then the customer will come automatically. No such thing. Right? So no such thing, especially if you're doing F&B, right? So if you don't know how to control the costing, big problem, right? So F&B got huge issue, in terms of three of the biggest costing that is very difficult to transfer to your pricing. One is your rental. Singapore, a lot of business F&B is dying is because of rental, right? So because why Singapore, a lot of the what I call place of business is actually bought by conglomerate. Yeah, it's bought by conglomerate. Conglomerate got very deep pocket, right? So they don't mind, right? So they want to find the right customer, right? So they don't mind about you, right? So you cannot pay, kick you out. Right? So they can burn for very long, right? So Singapore got this. Second thing is the cost of your material going up, your raw material going out, right? So, suddenly raw material going out, right? You cannot directly transfer the cost to your consumer. It's like right now, our petrol, right? So you put in your IC, it's 199. If you don't put in your IC, it's 260, right? So and one day you can only do it one time. So tell me if you're a business, right, that has a lot of this transport component, right? Transport component. So how? You're going to call your customer and say that, no, this delivery is going to be more expensive because why? It's already out of the subsidized petrol. Right now I have to pay 260. So your order, I have to charge more. You can you straight away go and do that? Right. So now last time during the airline, that there was a period whereby they got this thing called fuel surcharge. You buy your airplane ticket already, right? So you go to the airport, they're going to charge you additional for the fuel fees. Right? The airline, they can do that. But you, as an F&B business, can you do that? The number 3 one is basically the salary of the worker. These 3 components kill F&B very fast. Right? Salary increase, because why? Your price is not flexible. Right? So you cannot directly transfer the price. You increase your price, your business closed down. Right, so you want to maintain your price, your margin basically, it's like the like right now, the what we call the foreign worker also need to pay EPF, right? So foreign worker also need to pay EPF right now. Right, so how? Right, your business right now suddenly has an EPF costing component inside. Before this, you don't have. So can you right now increase your price suddenly? You can't. Right, you cannot, right? So then how business die, right? So then how you gonna blame, like, oh, government, EPF? You have to figure it out. You as the boss of the F&B, you have to figure it out. No choice, then you have to fight with right now there is a flooding of China conglomerate coming into Malaysia, and they got so much capital, and their supply chain is so tight. Like, for example, Mi Xue. You want to fight with Mi Xue, you are fighting with supply chain. Yeah, they can sell their coffee at 350 because they got their own coffee farm. They can sell their lemonade at like 3 ringgit is because they got their lemon farm. They have their lemon farm, they got their own transport fleet. They have their own cup manufacturing. So everything that the Mi Xue shop is selling, most of it is basically manufactured by themselves. So Mi Xue is actually not doing the retail. They are selling retail to people who want to do business, and the person who want to do business is actually their customer. It is not the people who walk into the shop. The people who walk into the shop is not Mi Xue customer. Mi Xue customer is the owner of the shop. Right? So you have to buy supply from Mi Xue. Mi Xue make money from the supply chain. Right? Understand? Right? So then how are you going to fight with this sort of conglomerate? Right? So if you are a mom and pop, sort of like, so again, drink shop. So you open drink shop, Mi Xue come in. How are you going to fight with them? Right? Your cup, you have to buy from supplier. Your coffee bean, you have to buy from supplier. Your lemon, you have to buy from supplier. Everything you have to buy from supplier. And all of these suppliers will have their margin put in already. So can you see that your cost is going to be way much more higher than Mi Xue? Mi Xue cost is way lower because everything is basically internally. They have the money to do that. And you're going to see more and more and more and more on this, China brand coming in. Right? So there's a lot, especially the Steamboat. Steamboat, many China brand, Mala, Huo, and all this kind of same. They all are playing a supply line game. Whereas you cannot, you don't have the supply line. Right? You are relying on another person's supply chain to survive. So how are you going to fight? Right? So can you say that, is this, and you want to go entrepreneurship, you have to figure this out. Yeah. Right? So it's not easy, right? So while you are an employee, then you don't need to care. Your business punya problem. Right? Can you see if you go out, if you work together, if you work with a person who has an employee mindset, who is trying to be an employer, trying to be an entrepreneur, it's very difficult for you to have that partnership with this fella. The fella is not taking responsibility. Right? Got money, the fella want to put a hand inside, but when need to take responsibility, the fella run. Right? Because why? The mindset is still the employee mindset, still that somebody else is responsible. So before you start your entrepreneurial journey, right, you better ask yourself that serious question, can you actually take full responsibility of everything that happened? There's no more blaming people, everything is you. Only got your employee blaming you only. Right? So you cannot blame anybody else. You ready for that? If you're not ready for that, please stay in the employment world. And don't complain about things that is happening in the employment world already. Employment world, one of the best benefit is that it has a natural protective mechanism. Okay, right? So you are generally protected in an employment bubble. Anything that happens outside, is none of your business. Right? So you just do your part. You do your part, you get your salary. If that is what you want, that is the place for you to survive. Right? No need, right? So easy. Got monkey, God come, go and have a good acting. So same thing, right? So, in the employment world, right? So you just need to be a very good actor. Very good actor, your salary keep on coming in. Right? So there's no way space for all the fuel in the airplane as they say. Discharge. All right, so that's basic things that you need to start to understand. Right? So thank you, Peggy. You have already received the email already this morning. Right? So for those of you who have signed up, basically receive the email. Now please, if you go and sign up now, right, you're not going to receive the email. You have to go into the apps to read. Right? The email doesn't detect new sign up one. Okay, right? So it's basically you're already in the email list. When it's publishing time, it will email everybody in the email list. If you're not in the email list, they won't email to you. Okay, then you need to go into the apps, which is Substack, to go and read. There's a lot of things to read inside, by the way. Okay, right? So you need to go and read all of this. Right? So yeah, so this one is basically to tell you that there's a difference. Why Sun Wukong so easily level the entire heaven army, and also being able to one-to-one challenge Jack Chow, right, with great figure of the heaven, is because all of them are basically employees. Okay, they know the employee mindset, they know how to do their work, right? So they know how to do that. Whereas when Sun Wukong is fighting any of the small demon down there, he's fighting with entrepreneur. Of course, the entrepreneur inside is gonna give them all their life, right? So it's gonna make sure that it cannot let you win. Right? They cannot afford to let you win, because it's either perish or a very not really too good of a fate for them. Right? So they don't like. Right? So these are people who try to escape the employment and go for what we call entrepreneurship. Right? So but if you really want to go for entrepreneurship, the first thing that you need to go and sit down and talk to yourself is that, are you prepared to take full responsibility? No more blaming. Right? No more blaming, no this kind of things that, somebody need to protect my small little glass ego. Right? So, they need to be compassionate, you need to understand my situation. Right? Your employee, the 5 fella who you're supposed to pay salary to, and you, at the end of the month, the salary is not credited into their account, they have zero compassion over whatever that's happening to you. Why should they? It's not their business. Right? Although it sounds really damn cruel, but that is the entrepreneurial world. So you want the entrepreneurial world, get ready for all the responsibility. And working together in an entrepreneur landscape is very different from working in the employee landscape. Because in the entrepreneur landscape, there are no actual hierarchical structure. Right, so for you, right? So, and in the entrepreneurial world, is really sorry to say that, really, money talks big. People who have money basically can do a lot of things, and you can't really do much. And so you need to understand that. So you need to start to understand what level do you play. Don't go and disturb other monster that's much more powerful than you. So and also Sun Wukong also have to learn that there are certain monsters that you really cannot touch. Right, so we will have that around. So tell you which of some of the more funnier story of this one is because this is the like the great punk, the demon wing great punk. So again, the fella is the employee of one of the Buddha. You smack this particular fella, where are you gonna bring another right for the Buddha? The Buddha is gonna sit on you, you're gonna become the right, So you can't, right? So you need to understand that there are certain people you cannot touch. Right? Unless you are more powerful than Buddha, unless you got the power to go toe to toe with Buddha, then maybe you can have a bit of a bargaining power. So some people also doesn't understand that. So if you're an entrepreneur, you need to understand that a formal hierarchical system doesn't work, and people who has a lot of money usually call the shot. You need to understand it, and you need to know how to avoid the fight with this sort of people. Siam, right? You can't, right? So you need to go your space and do your thing. At least until you have the resources, to fight them. But most of the time I tell you is that don't bother. Right? So don't bother with this sort of stuff. Okay? Right? So that's it for today. Right? So at least you guys know a little bit more about the Sun Wukong, right? So and things that is happening there, right? So as you right now, if you go back to read the story, then it make more sense. Why does the fella do things this particular manner? Right, so I remember that last time, can just smack the hell out of this fella. Right now cannot. Oh no, why this demon is more powerful in terms of fighting capability? That level is different there, right? So very different level. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. See you guys. Bye.